Mr. DJ Vlad just can't stop embarrassing himself. He's back at it again, trying to take shots at Shannon Sharpe. But this time, he finally got bold enough to say the man's name directly. It's wild, because at this point, it's looking like a straight-up cry for attention. Vlad's been on this weird mission for way too long, trying to drag Shannon into some back and forth that Sharpe clearly doesn't even care about. Now Vlad's out here acting like Shannon's success is somehow his competition. Bro, let's be real. Shannon Sharpe took over the whole internet game, and Vlad can't stand it. I said this a long time ago, almost 2 years back, that Vlad was gonna spiral like this. The man's obsessed. He's still chasing a response that he'll never get, and it's kinda sad to watch. He's walking around with this fake confidence now, just cause his interview with 6ix9ine pulled in some big numbers. Yeah, he paid major money for it, but now he thinks he can stand next to Shannon? Nah, Vlad, that's not how this works. Shannon built his lane through charisma and authenticity, while you out here buying clout with checks. Let's call it what it is. They don't compare, not even close. People keep saying, you obsessed with Vlad. Nah, let's get this straight. Vlad is the one obsessed with Shannon Sharpe, with our people, and with Black American culture. He studies us, profits off us, then turns around and twists our stories. I'm not worried about what Vlad got going on. My only obsession is doing the job I built for myself. I made my own lane and said, I'm here to protect my culture and make sure our stories are told right. Because in today's world, media is power. It's the biggest weapon out there. What's the point of having a platform if you're not standing on truth? That's my purpose, telling our truth loud and clear. But we got dudes like Vlad who don't care about truth, just clicks and views. He needs us to stay relevant, uses us when it's convenient, and then spins the story to fit his narrative. That's manipulation at its finest. And Vlad, let's be real, even your own fans can see how desperate you look right now. That obsession you got with Shannon Sharpe is embarrassing. You mad cause Shannon's winning, pulling A-list guests you can't get without throwing a check around. Everyone sees it, bro. You pay people to talk to you while Shannon gets respect for free. I'm just shining more light on it since you want to keep playing this weird game. Man, I've been trying to get this video out right, but the weather been wild out here. Wine blowing like crazy cold front hit H-Town hard, so I said forget setting up inside. We doing this raw today. I might redo it tomorrow when it chills out, but let's get into it right now, cause this needs to be said. Vlad been on a campaign against Shannon Sharpe for a whole year and 8 months straight, spreading lies, pushing fake stories, and throwing shade every chance he gets. The hate really kicked in when Shannon said, I made more off the Katt Williams interview than I ever made off an NFL season. That line hit Vlad's ego deep. He flipped the switch and turned himself into a full-blown villain after that. He tried to tear Shannon down, but look how that turned out. Shannon took a few hits, sure, but he's still out here winning, still landing the interviews Vlad can't touch, still running Nightcap strong, and still moving with power. Meanwhile, Vlad's sitting there mad cause all that praying for Shannon to fall didn't work. And let's be honest, bro, you dropped that 6ix9ine interview, but nobody in the culture's talking about it. The streets don't care. Black audiences ain't locked in with it. And it's definitely not shaking things like Shannon's Katt Williams moment did. You just don't have that kind of impact. And that's the truth. Let me tell y'all just how sad Vlad really is. It's honestly embarrassing at this point. The Shannon Sharpe and Katt Williams interview was so massive that everybody ate off it, even me. So shout out to Shannon Sharpe, cause that moment was legendary. It wasn't just about views or clicks, it was about the message, the raw truth, and the real conversations that hit home for people who grew up with these entertainers. That's what made it powerful. Shannon sat down with another talented figure, a comedian who's part of the same culture, and the impact went crazy. Whether you liked what was said or not, it sparked real dialogue across the culture. But Vlad, you moved with bad intentions, bro. You couldn't even let a positive, history-making moment breathe without throwing shade. And sure, I'll give you credit. Sometimes your content be decent. You pull out a few classic stories from legendary entertainers and folks will click in just to hear some history. That's cool, But then you always ruin it by showing your true colors. The jealousy seeps through every time. You were mad, plain and simple, because Shannon Sharpe didn't want to come on your show. You reached out, he passed, and your ego couldn't handle it. So when he finally got that viral Katt Williams interview, you started hating hard. You started lying, even told Marcellus Wiley that Shannon don't do other people's interviews, and that was a straight lie. You made that up just to downplay another man's success. Pathetic move, Vlad. Now, let's get it straight. Shannon Sharpe just didn't want to do your interview, Vlad. That's all it was. But you couldn't handle that rejection, so you flipped it into a lie, saying he don't do interviews with anybody. That was pure hate right there. Then, when Shannon revealed how much he made off that Katt Williams episode, you instantly started calling folks to come on your platform and downplay his success. And the only person who really sided with you all the way was D.L. Hughley. Yeah, the same one who always got something slick to say. He tried to claim Shannon was being messy, yet he's sitting there giving Vlad a pass for the exact same thing. The truth is, DL was salty cause Monique aired out his business during that same interview. Let's just be real. But instead of owning that, he tried to play the "I'm doing this for the greater good" card. Nah, man, that was pride talking. Meanwhile, Vlad, you keep acting like your 6ix9ine interview changed the game or something. Newsflash, nobody's eating off that. Nobody's even reposting it because there's nothing worth sharing. You structure your business so tight that people can't even use your content. Not that anyone wants to anyway. Be honest, the culture ain't talking about it, the streets ain't watching it, and nobody cares. That's the real difference between you and Shannon. His interviews move the culture, yours don't. Let's keep it all the way real. Within our culture, the true heart of hip-hop, which came straight from Black America, nobody cares about that 6ix9ine talk. That's not what moves the culture anymore. Yeah, Vlad, your interview got views, it hit the algorithm, you got your numbers, but nobody actually cares about the message. It's empty views, no real impact. Meanwhile, when Shannon Sharpe dropped that Katt Williams interview, it shifted the whole scene. You even ate off it yourself, Vlad. You made serious money just from booking folks to discuss it, then doubled up when Shannon revealed what he earned. You milked that moment for every drop, trying to ride the wave of something you didn't even create. But here's the thing, Shannon never once mentioned you. He never said your name, never titled a video about you, never even responded. You out here yelling at a man who don't even acknowledge your existence. That's wild. You obsessed with him, not the other way around. You'll never be on Shannon's level. That's just facts. He's built for greatness, while you still trying to force your way into the culture that barely tolerates you. The people see it. The obsession's embarrassing. And honestly, it's sad to watch. Like I said before, Vlad ain't the only one I call out, but he's the perfect example of someone who keeps telling black folks they need his platform, when really, he needs us. You see what Vlad been doing lately? Look how he moved with G Herbo. Soon as someone don't want to pull up to his show, he flips and starts throwing shade. Same playbook with Shannon Sharpe. Oh, you don't want to come here? Fine, I'ma trash you. Then he did the same thing with Lil Wayne and Tyrese. If you don't sit down with him, he'll book somebody else to talk bad on your name. That's corny behavior, plain and simple. But see, we not letting that slide anymore. We taking control of our own stories, our own narratives. I'm not obsessed with Vlad. I'm obsessed with the mission I created for myself. My job is to call it like I see it, no matter who it is. Vlad just happens to be one of many who needed to get checked. And to the ones who always defend him, the ones scared to call out a white man but quick to call out your own, y'all gotta stop that. You don't like seeing me hold him accountable, so you try to label it as hate. Nah, it's not hate, it's truth. If Vlad was just out here doing interviews respectfully, staying in his lane, I'd say salute, get your money, do your thing. But when I see him throwing sneaky jabs, using people for clout, and pushing weird motives, I'm calling it out. I'm not waiting for someone else to tell me what to think or how to feel. I got my own mind, and that's how every real man should move. Too many folks out here let the internet or the crowd tell them what's right or wrong. Not me. I think for myself, always have, always will. Once I got the info, the knowledge, and the facts, I made up my own mind. Using my own brain, my own experience, and my own wisdom. That's how I move, period. And let's get this clear right now. There is no so-called media alliance like Vlad tries to claim. Let's stop pretending. Let's cut the cap, cut the trash, and tell it straight. That whole "we all work together and uplift each other" talk is fake. Vlad loves to push that unity line when it benefits him, but look how he really acts. Remember the situation with G Herbo? Vlad went on his platform crying that G Herbo wouldn't sit down with him. He said, "Oh, G Herbo won't come to my show, but he'll go to that other platform that only got 600 views. You serious, bro? That's not media unity. That's jealousy in disguise. And this ain't the first time he's done that. Anytime someone gives another platform love, Vlad takes it personal. If he can use you or benefit from your clout, he's all smiles. Let's work together. Let's build." But the second he can't get what he wants, the second an artist says no, he switches up. He'll throw shade, refuse to mention your name, and try to belittle your platform like it's nothing. That's not collaboration, that's manipulation. Real unity ain't about using people for numbers, it's about respecting everyone's grind. But Vlad only shows love when it helps him, and that's why folks are finally waking up to how fake that media family talk really is. Man, all that fake media talk, cut it out. I'm calling it exactly how it is. Vlad done booked half the industry just to throw shade at Shannon Sharpe, and it's looking desperate at this point. You begging for attention, bro. Go ahead and make whatever money you can off that 6ix9ine interview. Nobody cares. You could get rich off it if you want, but it still won't matter because it holds no real impact. See, this culture runs deeper than numbers. It's not about who gets the most clicks, it's about the roots, the soul, the structure. We built this from the ground up with flavor, with style, with pride. And that can't be bought, copied, or faked. That's why our influence is priceless. Now tell me what y'all think about all this. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to Dripzine for more real talk straight from the culture.